I moved into the small, secluded apartment 2 weeks ago. It was the only place I could afford after I lost my job, and I figured it would be a temporary solution. The landlord seemed nice enough, but there was always something off about him. His eyes, deep, hollow, almost like there was nothing behind them. But I didn't think much of it. I had my own problems. The first few nights were normal. I unpacked, settled in, and tried to get used to the silence. But the silence was unnerving. I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone in the apartment. At first I thought it was just nerves, but then it started. On the third night I woke up at 3:00 a.m. My room was pitch black, but there was a sound, a soft tapping like something knocking on the walls. I lay still, listening. The sound came from the corner of my room, right by the closet. Tap, tap, tap. I got up, grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. The corner was empty. The closet door was closed. I didn't hear anything else, so I shrugged it off and went back to bed. The tapping continued every night, though, always at 3:00 a.m., and each night the tapping got closer to my bed. I told myself it was just my imagination, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was there. Something was waiting. One night, after hearing the tapping move from the corner of the room to the foot of my bed, I decided to confront whatever it was. I grabbed a broomstick, turned on the light, and stood in the middle of the room, my heart racing. "Come out!" I yelled into the darkness. "I'm not afraid of you!" I stood there waiting for something, anything, but nothing happened. No tapping, no movement. The room remained eerily still. I was about to turn around when I felt a cold breath on the back of my neck. I spun around. There, standing right in front of me, was the landlord. His hollow eyes stared into mine, lifeless and empty. I stepped back, panic rising in my chest. I thought you left," I stammered. He didn't respond. Instead, he just stood there watching me. His face was emotionless, like a mask. I ran out of the room, down the stairs and into the street. I called the landlord from my phone, but it went straight to voicemail. I was trembling, my body shaking with fear, but then I realized something chilling. The apartment complex was empty. The whole street was deserted. I hadn't seen a single person since I'd moved in. I tried calling my friends, but none of their numbers worked. It was like the world around me had been erased, leaving me alone in this void of silence. Suddenly I heard a voice behind me. "You shouldn't have run," it whispered, and I felt a cold hand grab my shoulder. I spun around again, but no one was there. Still, the whisper came again, closer this time, as though it was coming from the very walls around me. "You'll never leave." The world around me started to blur, twisting and warping, until everything disappeared, leaving me in total darkness. That's when I realized I wasn't in the apartment anymore. I wasn't anywhere. I was trapped.